I will say that if you are coming into this and wanting to know if you need to read the first book, that is where I would say you could probably skip it. We are back for another Christian review of regular books, and today we are discussing Fractured by Karin, which is the second book in the Will Trent series. For those of you who have never seen one of these videos before, here's how it's going to go down. First, I do my regular review, what you know and love to expect from a book review, star rating, my own personal opinion, etc. But then we get into my Christian review, and that's where we go over the basic pieces of a book that may or may not have a fellow believer or anyone wanting to read it. I give more caveats and any more information you may need about these reviews at the video that's pinned at the top of the playlist, or you can click here somewhere. For now, if you're still here, let's go ahead and get into my regular review. Fractured by Karin is the second book in the Will Trent series. The Will Trent series are all interconnected standalones. I know people who have read these books as independent books, just kind of picking up one and then the other, and they've still enjoyed themselves immensely. I will say that if you are coming into this and wanting to know if you need to read the first book, that is where I would say you could probably skip it. The second book goes over all the same personal and personality experiences that the first book does. However, I think the second book is significantly better written. This story actually kept me engaged and interested. I wanted to know what happened. It wasn't overly explicitly gory or violent or dealing with spice or any of those things. And you still get that kind of cop, Law & Order SVU dupe kind of feeling. I really enjoyed this book. I had a great time reading it. I actually wanted to know what was happening with the main male character, who's Will Trent, and I felt like I was really engaged in the storyline as a whole. Ultimately, I rated this book 4 stars. Now let's go ahead and get into my Christian review. If you want to see everything that I'm reading and rating in real time, you can do so by following me on Goodreads. You can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, and I do have my own YouTube channel. So if you're wanting to see more of my day-to-day reading journey and life journey, you can do so by checking out any of the links in the description box. The first category I always love to touch on is smut or spice because it's popular, and there is no explicitly described spice scenes in this book. As I mentioned in my regular review, it is still dealing with sex workers or people who work within the sex workers industry, very similar to a Law & Order SVU episode. So you're gonna have some interesting dynamics around spicy things or smutty things, but there's no explicitly described sex or spice scenes. The second category is explicit language, and there is very minor explicit language. It's much more tasteful, and I think very appropriate for a book dealing with cops. The third category is violence or gore, and again, it's very tasteful. There is violence and gore. You are still dealing with people dying or being murdered or being attacked. So you're still dealing with some aspects where there is those things and they are described, but they're not described to the full extent that I experienced in the first book or that I think I've even experienced in other Karin Slaughter books. I think this book would be great for anyone ages 16 and up. I think it's a really fun cop thriller story, and some of the books that come after this one are amazing and really, really fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can stay up to date on all of these Christian reviews of regular books, plus me and my mom's podcast, The Journey We Share. Not only does it help you stay up to date, but it helps us know that the content we're providing is content that helps you. So please do that before you go, and we cannot wait until we see you on the next one.